Hi everyone, do a bit of sea trout fishing today. Obviously water levels are inexistent with all this warm weather, but we're going to give it a go anyway. Using a ultralight rod, 1 to 9 grams, with a little map for the first little go, and see if we can have a think. If all goes to plan, we'll try and catch a few sea trout. But if the map doesn't work, we'll try a bit of drop shotting and see how it goes from there. So I'll put you down a minute and see if we can have fish. A small knock then, nothing major then. That was the first pull done. See, I had one touch in, but nothing. So I'm going to turn around. I'll pull the fishing. Not too big, not too small, but obviously the water level's not helping being so low. But we've got a lot of river to fish, so you boys stay put, and we'll try and get a sea trout out if we're lucky. Only a small pull that one, but it was worth a chuck. Like I said earlier, I'm using a 1 to 9 gram drop shotting rod with a Ninja for a plug-in spinning. I think the Ninjas thought they are £45. I think they are. Absolutely fantastic reel. Cheap as chips and absolute butterfoot. Just a little river we're fishing. Had a few this year, not been the greatest. compared to other years because the fish haven't had the water in the river to run up through. But it would be nice to have one or two. Obviously overgrown a bit, but all I can say is let's give it a go. Normally spend my time batting on lures, but considering I live only 100 yards away from the river, I can't say no to a little session out after work. So we'll just give it a go and hopefully persistence pays off. This is a pull out of my last sea trout in, so see if we can have one. Hi Richard, hi Andy, how's it going? As I said earlier, the water levels in the river are so low, it's going to be hard to get a fish, which makes it even more exciting when you do hook one. Taking on a little wade down through this pool. Evening, Simon. Down through this pool because it's not very deep. Hi James, how's it going? Seen no success yet, but it's still early. Yeah, there's a few fish around, but trying to find them is a nightmare. Has anybody got any questions? Got a little bit of a walk through the undergrowth and everything to our next spot, so answer some questions if anybody's got any. Cheers, Richard. Yeah, it's my first stream, hopefully of many. I'll be doing a lot more bass fishing on lures, bit on bait, but I normally stick to my lures now. Especially at night, I do love my lure fishing at night. I'm on the Tresellian River, which is in Truro, in Cornwall. Only a stream. It looks small from here. For you. Yeah, there's the water. See, this ain't one of the better pools. Normally it's a lot deeper, and in the winter months it's nice, but obviously you can't fish for trout around the winter months on this one, because there's a lot of brown trout in here, and the brown trout season ends by then. But as I was saying earlier, I fish this river a lot in the evenings in my spare time, if I can't be bothered to go anywhere else. If I can't be bothered to go anywhere else near because I literally live up that road. There's a road there, 150 yards, the first house. I live on a farm with my girlfriend, so it's awesome. If you can see it for me. I'll show you this bit. Many of you can see it's the main road there, and that building in the background is my house, so it's literally 100 yards to walk to the river. I don't think anybody would turn down the opportunity to get out fishing and away from the missus for a while. Just don't tell her I said that. But we'll give this a go and see if we can have a fish or two. And yeah, I'll be doing a lot of bass fishing in the next month or so. We've got the Cornish Lure Festival, which is one of the biggest ones in Britain, coming up in October, which is Friday to Sunday fishing, and I'll be doing all-nighters every night to try and win that one. Won it a few years back now with a nice bass. With bass, even when the ban wasn't on, I'm predominantly catch and release, because I do like my bass fishing and I like to see the bass go back. If we can get down the river. Around on the camera and try and this is one of the nicer pools, so hopefully we'll have one. Oh, had a bite then. No time. Had one bite in that first pool on this side of the river, but don't follow back. I'm not going to fish the pools too heavy because on the way back through I'll drop shot all of them instead, so it's a different type of method. They might prefer taking other than the one I just used. So yeah, the camera angles ain't great, mate, just personally because I've only got my phone, I ain't got a tripod or anything for it, but if we can try and get some ledges, it'll be better. I will be showing you all the fish I catch if I catch any. Yeah, I have used, you get the trout black minnows. I don't know if I've got any on me. They're okay, but I find they're hard to fish on some rivers with too much current. And I know a lot of these trout in here are 6-7 inches, so not oversized fish. But I'll just show you some of the drop shotting gear. These I use a couple maps. That's a different colour map, but I use more on when the water's a bit darker. But I do love drop shotting, especially with the pinks. The pinks are brilliant with a little 2-3 gram head on them. They're fantastic. The other colours are okay. Don't get me wrong, I don't disuse them, but I do love the pink ones. I cut them down sometimes to make them 10-12 centimetres, just the tail. All you need is tail movement with trout. This river is a quiet river, Dave. As far as I'm aware, I'm the only person that's fished it for a few years. I know people that used to fish it, but I've been with my girlfriend for 3 years now, and I've never met another angler down here, which is lovely. And you'll notice on some of my bass marks as well, you won't see another angler down there because most of them won't go down on the cliffs where I go. But if you don't fish places where people don't look at. It's nice to go somewhere once in a while where you can't get to without climbing gear or anything like that. It's a bit different. You'll notice, I'll show you when I'm lure fishing, I got quite good climbing gear to get down on some marks, just to get out of the way of other anglers and find the bass on locations where they're not used to being casted at. This can be one of my favourite pools in the river, so if it throws a fish today I'll be happy. Yeah, I've always wanted to go to Ireland on the trout and that, especially salmon. It's a nice place. I've been over to Cork once. That was brilliant. It's lovely over there. But we'll go back there one day because I want to definitely catch a salmon over there. We have got salmon rivers here. Better ones are up the country. We've got one down here, or two. Well, but I wasn't a member until 2 years ago of the Bodmin Anglers Association, and we just don't get the salmon run down here anymore. I don't know if it's due to netting or anything like that, but it's definitely changed. I'm just going to put the phone down here a minute. I know you're not going to have a very good view, but I just don't want to spook this spot. We got a fish on. Yep, and there's a nice sea trout, I think. Jumping. There we go. I know it is a brownie, but it's a fish if none the better. Show you boys. Here boys. Nice little brown trout. He have a good account for himself. And a little map spinner. we're going to put this one back and release them. There we go. There we go. Save the blank. Yeah, definitely try maps. The smaller the better. On some rivers, I'll have another go in this pool. Some rivers are better than others for maps, and drop shotting is turning. Right, it's going huge now. More and more people are doing it for chub. This is where I just got the fish out of the pool. Nice little pool with two separate coming in. It depends. The average fish is around 10-12. 10-12 inches. Some smaller, some bigger. But then you do get the day when you hook a cracking fish, more so when the water's up. Brought my dad down here, and I cast it into the pool and had a fish follow, and I said, "Dad, a big fish," and he put a Rapala on. Not a huge Rapala, but I'd say 2-3 inches or so. Cast it out and this fish took him, and he had a 3.5 pound rainbow trout. But sea trout up to 2 pound in here, nothing massive, but they reckon it used to be a salmon run, and there's the bottom half of the river, because I'm about 2.5 miles from, about 2.5 miles from the estuary itself. About 2.5 miles from the estuary. The first 1.5 miles of it is a token fishery, where you have a token. But from the bridge just down from my house, it's free the whole way up. And I've had most of the sport here. I fish a token water, but I find you find the better fish further up, because quite a few people do fish a token bit. But this stretches, as you can see, trying to crawl through all this. Stinging nettles, everything. No one comes through here. I'm trying that pull out quickly. I can't even get a rod in there. Hi Steve, how's it going? It's like being in the jungle in here today. It'd be boring if you could just walk straight onto the water. Nothing in that pool there. Ideal if we can get into it. I'll walk up through that one. We have to do a bit of climbing, but we'll give it a go. Drop the rod down there. I'm literally in a jungle. So what I'm hoping for is I can show you boys just up here on the right. It's happened to me a few times now. There's a family of otters. I've had some cracking pictures of them sat there for a couple of hours one day waiting for them to come out. I've got some cracking pictures. I think we might be in for a lot of a fish in this next pool. There's a few ripples and moving, so bite straight away. Perfect. Oh, missed him again. Definitely fish in this pool. Let's try and get one out. Don't think it's gonna happen. If I drop my phone, I've got an iPhone 8, but I don't want to test how waterproof they actually are, to be honest. So what's everybody's type of fishing, like beach fishing and what's grounding? Yeah, I thought I'd show you something different tonight, and no, it's a sea fishing group, so that's why I was trying to catch a sea trout. Don't know if any of you have had any sea trout in the sea, as such. Yeah, Aaron, how's it going, mate? Cheers, mate. I've had one brownie. It's not fishing as well as it should be, but the water is low, so hoping for Nice sea trout though, can have one. Must go out plugging soon, Aaron. It's been too long. Cheers. But if any of you don't know Aaron, he's a cracking rod builder. I'd recommend him to anyone. Yeah, my phone's going to stay there, but we'll do it here. Yeah, cheers Aaron, mate. We've got what I call the whirlpool coming up. It's where two sections of water go into one. I've had a lot of fish out of it in the years. Find more brown trout in it than sea trout, but on a good day you do catch a nice sea trout out of it. Trees in the way. What we're going to do now is we're going to fish these last few pools on this side, and then we're going to either turn round or we might go off a bit with the drop shot, and I'll show you boys a bit of drop shotting. It's a bit different, a lot slower fishing, but sometimes on a good day it's more productive, and you do pick up a lot more fish on it. Well, these two pools either side of me, cracking up the pools. Cheers, Aaron. See if we can have one or two. Using £6 line today. It's a bit heavy normally. I normally use £2 braid or £4 braid. But I haven't had a chance to change the pool over. We'll try this little pool a minute. This is a cracker. Show you the pool before I fish it. Goes right around the corner. It's probably one of the deepest ones at the moment, due to the weather we've had. But we'll give it a go. Hopefully we'll have a fish out with it. Oh, just lost one. There is fish in this pool, so we'll definitely give this one a bit of time and we'll drop shot it as well. I'm using a mep Aaron, just a small spinner, but I'm gonna drop shot in a minute and see if I can. Okay. Just a small spinner with a couple blue dots on it, size 2. I do like size 1s, but I haven't been out shopping lately and I haven't got any left. But that's how they work in the water. I don't know if you see that. No mate, you can't. I do love using the spinners. They were always my first choice. Like I said earlier, I fished the river up and then I fish the river up and then I'll fish it down with the drop shot. I don't fish the pools that long. I give them a couple minutes each maximum. If I have a fish out of one, I leave it. Just let the river rest. Because where there's one fish, there's always more. But now I've got to get through all this shit. That's it. Fucking brambles, 6 foot high. Get back on myself. This pool here is a cracking pool. Don't know if you can see it that well, it's dark. But under that tree line there, if you can get a rod under there, it'd be brilliant. That's a bit too deep standing. We'll give it a go anyway. It's awkward to hold the phone up here because there's nothing I can really put. Surprising, a lot of these pools tonight are empty, nothing moving in them at all. It might be just sitting tight to the bottom with this hot weather and no energy to move, but we'll keep persisting and see how we get on. Yeah, you do need a rod license. I think what do I pay? £25 for the year from the Environment Agency, or it's £75 for the one I've got. If you just want to fish with brown trout in a stream, and you'll catch your occasional sea trout, but obviously you won't be keeping them. It's £25, but if you do want to keep a sea trout, catch a nice one, it's £75. Why did that go dark all of a sudden? Oh, fish on straight away here, boys. I think only a small one, but we got fish on. Yep, another brown trout. There you go, boys. Nice small little brownie on the map. So there is a few fish here, which is nice. Once again, I'll record me putting back. I do like watching the fish go back. There we go. I'm in the woods, Mark, fishing a little stream next to my house. Literally, as I showed earlier, from where the river, the bit of the river I fish is, where I start fishing, it's no more than 100 yards from my house. Over the moon in that little fish. So maybe there might be another one in there actually. See if we can get another one out of it. Be nice if we have to. We had another bite then, so there is fish still in there. Look right to the back of the pool and see what we can do. Fucking horsefly. Gonna go up here a minute and fish a couple more pools, and then we'll have a turn round and we'll try some drop shotting back down the river. As you see, with the further up the river, the thin and narrow it's getting, that's 6 foot wide maximum. I'll try and get another one out of this pool. It's looking like a nice pool. Back in a minute. Oh, that was definitely a sea trout went for me then. I seen the silver on him. So we'll flick it back out, and sometimes the sea trout are more aggressive and they will take second time. Sounded like it's definitely bigger fish in that pool then. Don't know if you boys heard that. That's fucking hell of a bud. Just fish this last little bit and then we will turn around this time. Two last little pools up here. what I can say to you boys is that anybody that anybody that can get to a little stream near them and does any bass plugging, I've noticed the more fishing I do in a river where you got trees everywhere, it makes you think about your casting. So when you're bassing and you cast a specific spot, like say you got rocks out in front of you or anything, it's brilliant. Your casting goes so much more accurate, and I personally think it improves your catch rates as well as the fishing side of things. Like, I didn't see your comment. A romp in the woods. Haven't done that for a year or two. Maybe a few times after a house party, but not for a year or two. Oh, bite again. A few fish showing in this pool. Yeah, definitely. Oh, what battery's doing? 16%, that's right. I'm gonna have a little fag break in a minute, and then I'll show you what some drop shotting. If anybody's got any questions, feel free to ask. To Heady Woods is where it's at, isn't it, Aaron? Yeah, I'm hoping for a sea trout. 2 brown trout I have taken, which I'm quite happy about, to be honest, because the way it was looking at the start, I normally have a fish quite early on, but the way it was looking at the start, I did struggle a bit. So I don't mind having 1 or 2 brown trout. Saves a blank, obviously. But I hope you're all enjoying my live. Something different and yeah, I do like when the river's up, especially when the river's an amber colour just after a bit of rain. That's one of my favourite times. once you've had a lot of rain and it clears up as well, because it's given the fish a chance to come up the river from the estuary there. You pick up a lot more sea trout when that is. Today I knew I always have a good chance here of picking up a sea trout, but today it's a bit harder because the water levels are so low. Normally well, if any of you know Cornish summertime, I'd be wading right now, but this year's been a bit different, and it's only in some places is 8 inches, 9 inches deep, but I don't know if I turn the camera around. It's normally halfway up the banks at least on the other side there. I don't know if I can zoom, yeah. So it's past most of the branches there. You can see where the holes are, where the trout do hide. So a foot, 2 foot in most places normally. That's the little rig I'm going to be using. Just that one there. I don't know how long my batteries. You might pick up schoolies down the bottom. I've never caught bass off here, but saying that, you say that, I was on the camel fishing, which is another river, it's a salmon river, with Dad last year, and we happened to find it was quite far up the river as well. We had a lot of rain, and then we had a big dry patch, and there was a 7-pound bass dead on the bank there. We found dead on the bank. So yeah, it was a shock to find it that far up the river, but it was interesting. So yeah, I wouldn't doubt that we come up the river. But if I knew there was bass coming, I wouldn't certainly tell anyone. My nickname's Easy. Oh, why is that? Couldn't tell if that was a local homeless or bike riders. Sea bass. Oh, okay. Medway, where's that? I can't think where the Medway is. That's Kent, isn't it? I think that's Kent. I've shot the Medway. Yeah, it's Kent. I'm sure it is. Tell me if I'm wrong. Pretty sure it's Kent. I've been shooting on the Medway. Yeah, thought it was. Right, we're going to try this little black minnow. Or little pink minnow, what you call it. Don't know how long the battery's going to last, but we'll have a look. Look too thick, and I'll show you the rod. Literally little touches. Fish hook bounces. See probably better light on this side. I just literally want a bit of movement, and you can see it on the camera there.
Literally little movements like that.
Yeah, Aaron, definitely. Tightening that down. Sad to say, my battery is dying rather quickly for some reason. Fucking shit thing about iPhones. We're on 6% and I'll stay on till we die. But if it does die sooner, hope you've enjoyed me catching a few brownies. And if I have got time, mate, to catch a sea trout on a drop shot. But we'll just have to see. There's a big trout there, 1 second. Not interested. When you're fishing a drop shot, I tend to stalk a lot more quieter, simply because you're pretty much fishing below your feet. And you don't want to disturb a fish, but we'll give it a go. Nothing might show, but it's nice to have a try. Better than being behind the TV. No room to put the rod down. Right, I'm gonna get off live. I've got 3% battery left and I need to save that in case I get caught in a bush or anything. But we'll see what the time is when I get back. Chuck phone on charge for a bit. And because one of my bass marks is only 5 minutes up the road, I'll see if my girlfriend wants to come along for an hour and see if we can get a bass on camera for you as it's going in the dark. I know there is a few around. I haven't been much lately compared to what I normally go, but I have had a couple this year. I know they're definitely on the mark because had a dive there the other night and I seen them. So, but just before we go, I'm gonna chuck in this little pool because we haven't fished this one yet. I left this one for the drop shot, so we'll give it a go quickly. The only night I'm free, Aaron, is tomorrow night. Just because, yeah, tomorrow night's best for me because I'm going away on Friday. I'm going up to the game fair in Oxford for the fishing and shooting. So I'll give you a message, but if tomorrow night's any good for you, I'll be definitely keen for that. On the certain mark that you've been with me, Aaron, let's put it this way, the one we went on the Lure Festival, we had that good morning, and lucky we didn't catch anything that night, but I went there diving the other night, and let's put it this way, there was some of the biggest shoals of bass I've ever seen, and they were like arm length distance from the shore. Was a fucking bastard. Yeah, that mark's thriving at the minute. And well, Dad came with me to have a look, and me and Dad seen at least one fish there. There was a few 3-4 pounders, but there was one fish there that was pushing on a double. It was the biggest fish I've ever seen while diving, and he was rod length from the beach in less than a foot of water climbing. I explained earlier that some of my bass marks are climbing marks, but yeah, we'll give it a go. Anyway, hope you enjoy my live. I'll be on very shortly, maybe tomorrow night if me and Aaron are going out. We'll try and get some bass in for you guys. But cheers for watching, and I'll see you all later. And Aaron, I'll give you a message. Cheers.